Kieron O'Neill channeling its match preview, Manchester United versus Spurs. Let us know your thoughts on this game, your team selection, score predictions. Get it all in the chat, and we will try and discuss some of your comments throughout the video. It's also been reported that Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be in attendance for this game, since buying 25% of Manchester United, which we will discuss later on in the video. But I want your first thoughts going into this game.
Well, going into this game, I just see a team what's coming here with a manager, and they've used no excuses whatsoever. They play open, flowing, attacking football. They've had injuries. They've had suspensions and everything, but there's no excuses. They all seem to know what to do, completely different than what's happening here at Manchester United. Excuses after excuses seems to be coming now for the type of pattern of play we play from certain players. Tactics aren't right, motivation. Spurs have got none of that. I'm expecting an open, attacking game of football. And it's with Spurs being in an attacking mode, I think it'll suit United. We'll get a better football from them. Hopefully, that's how I see it. I think United will open up and have chances against Spurs.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Man United definitely benefit from our position coming at Manchester United being more open, because we do look a threat, and our plan A, so to speak, more so on the counter-attack and, in the wide areas. Let's see how they perform. Is Rashford going to start on the left, Garnacho on the right? I think Antony might be back into contention for this one, but does he start? Let me know what your thoughts are. But he did say after the Wigan game that you expect Luke Shaw and Christian Eriksen to return for this match, with Harry Maguire as a maybe. So Luke Shaw, if he comes back in, who's going to be starting at right back? Wan-Bissaka, Delo for you?
I think out of those, what you've described there, possibilities of coming back, I think it's Eriksen what's got the possibility of coming back. But that puts the problem of Mainu. Mainu has to start, and it's who partners him. And if he does, if he is thinking of bringing Eriksen back, then McTominay's out. So I think it's a little bit of a fight of who goes with Mainu. Mainu should not lose his place here. He's playing football, gets on with it, and he does a good job. So I think Eriksen has got a little bit of a battle with Ten Hag here of fitting in when McTominay's been chosen. So that's the battle I see of who's going to start, of the players what are going to come back. And it's hit and miss, really, of who's going to come back. With the break coming up now, I think we've got a 2-week break coming up after this game until we play the FA Cup game. So I think any risk of pushing players, I don't actually think there's a need for it. But Eriksen is the one for me where he might take that risk, changing McTominay for Eriksen.
So I'll take it you're not interested at right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka or Delo at right back. You went straight into midfield there.
Yeah, because
is that a position then that you see most important in filling and making sure he gets that right? Then I take it and starting Mainu.
Yeah, because United have to dominate and try and take control of the midfield. I think all the other positions just take care of itself. I think if you look at it, I don't think there's a need to rush Shaw back, especially when we've got the break, and then it's an FA Cup game. You're really looking at the Wolves game. So the extra time these players will get rehabilitating their injuries and that, I think fair enough. I don't see the rush for this. Fast, tough game. Is it really the game bringing someone in who's been out with injuries to start off straight away? I don't think so. So to me, I think every other position, what we've seen, the starting lineup basically will be the same as what we played against Wigan.
Yeah, I would rather see Luke Shaw return though myself, to be honest with you,
I would.
At left back. You have seen him play centre half as well, but I think with Johnny Evans and Rafael Varane at centre back, that's most likely to start the game. Yeah. But I would like to see Luke Shaw return to left back. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but recently in some of the games he's played, it looks like he's laying off some of the wingers. He's not getting close to the wingers sometimes for me. And I think we're looking at the opposition are getting balls in far too easy from that left-hand side of theirs with Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, it's
looking a little bit lazy at times, I've got to be honest. And I'm a big fan of him, always have been. Yeah, but recently it's just like he's not proper at it.
He's not been proper at it. It's not going well for him in the last couple of games. Got to admit that, but he's done well. He should still be in that position. But when you go back to Luke Shaw, yes, I would prefer Luke Shaw to come back for the simple reason he helps the wingers winger, whether it's Garnacho or whether it's Rashford. And maybe Rashford is missing a little bit of Luke Shaw coming down the wing with the ball and also receiving it and going behind.
I think what Rashford's missing is work rate, and I don't think it matters who's playing left back. Let's be honest with you, he needs to focus on his own game and start helping out his left back, whoever that is. To be fair,
I agree with you on that point without a doubt.
And making a partnership,
making a partnership. Rashford is way off the game, and he's been criticised from every quarter, and quite rightly so. But what I'm saying, to help the team and to help the attacking flow, Luke Shaw is a better option because of the way he goes down the wing. So I would prefer him to start, but I'm hesitant because of coming back into this game, because it'll be an open flowing attacking game of football.
And this is the thing, hopefully Luke Shaw is 100% fit and he is ready for this game, because if you look at even the full-back positions and the forward positions, out on the left, out on the right, he's probably our best crosser of the ball.
Yeah, probably.
If you're looking at it, who's available in the actual squad, he's probably our best crosser of the ball. Most of the times he takes the corners as well. Sometimes he'll take the deep line free kicks if it's not Bruno. So, set pieces, etc., and, getting balls in, which we all want from the wide areas to try and feed Højlund, he's probably our best option.
Well, you look at set pieces and all that. I don't know. I've mentioned it a few times. I don't see anything. I looked the other night. Corners. Who's taking what strategy is that? I just don't see it. The free kicks and everything. It's so poor at United. The free kicks, which give you chances, especially corners and that. And it's poor. Luke Shaw, all I can say about him, he would add more to the attacking threat, but we're losing threats because of free kicks. Corners. Nothing's ever coming of it. So that has to change, especially in the Tottenham game. You've got to take your chances. Got to take the chances. Against Wigan, we clearly seen 10, 15 chances go begging. That can't happen. I seen it when we played Tottenham this year. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, when we played Tottenham, we should have been 2-0 up. And if you remember, the clear header from Bruno, open goal, over the bar, and we should have been winning. Spurs weren't in that first half, and then United just completely disappeared in that second half. Tottenham overrun us. It won't be like playing Spurs at Old Trafford like it was last year, with Harry Kane in it. I mean, they were rubbish. They never offered a threat at anything. United just steamrolled them. So it won't be nothing like that. It'll be more like the second half of at Spurs' ground this year. United can't afford to miss the chances, because that's typical of what this season has been. You miss your chances and then a team will overrun you, and Spurs did it at their ground. Yeah,
the thing is, you don't know what Manchester United are going to turn up.
No.
And you're looking at the last home game against Aston Villa and you're just hoping that side turns up again against Spurs. Obviously, they've got injury issues themselves, Spurs. They've got the likes of James Maddison, Romero out. They've also got Son, Bissouma, Papi Sarr. They've gone on the international duty with the Asia Cup, AFCON, etc. So they are coming here light as well. Do you know what I mean? So it should be a good opportunity for Man United to get the 3 points there.
They're coming here light, but what it is, whoever they're bringing on the pitch is in zinc with everything what's going on.
Yeah.
They walk straight in. Some of these players were never even considered last year.
It's a drop-off in quality, but you still see a same style of play from Tottenham, no matter who they bring in. Obviously, they've got the first-team players and a few of them are out, but you'll still see them play that set pattern of play where they've all got their instructions and they know where the other player's going to be before they get the ball so they can ping it round in midfield.
Every player has got the instructions, works to it and does the job.
Yeah.
There's players there who are not even in lots of positions. That's not their natural position, and they're just taking it up and walking into it. Something I thought under Erik ten Hag coming in with his coaching abilities, with everything around him, I thought people would be able to walk in. When you look at Luke Shaw walking into the centre-half position, just strolled into it, I thought we would see more of that, whereas Tottenham have just took it completely over where, hey lads, this is what you do, get in this position. I know it's not your right position, but listen to the instructions, and they all get on with it. And to be honest with you, like you say, the quality of these players aren't the first team or classed as the first team, but they're all footballers willing to do the one thing, run and put that effort in. whereas United don't seem to want to run and put the effort in many games, which is, there's no excuses for that, to be honest.
Yeah, no excuses, but with the Tottenham players, you can see they're all clearly behind the manager and what he's trying to implement on the pitch. They're all buying into it, and then that makes you question, are some of these players in this squad still not buying into what Erik ten Hag's trying to do? But that's for a different discussion. But I think it's fair to, well, not fair to say, but we need to pinpoint Andre Onana. It's going to be his last game before he goes on to the AFCON.
Yeah.
So what are you expecting from him? Well, let's hope there's not.
Well, let's hope it's a clean sheet.
Yeah.
My one worry when I look over Andre Onana is he seems to be stuck to the line, which was a criticism of Ten Hag. Okay, he comes out with the ball, plays it out, looks for a quick ball sometimes or a long kick. He'll play the football. But I just seem to be starting to worry about Onana's positioning now. He seems to be glued to the line. That has to change.
That's confidence then, surely. Because if you look at him from his previous clubs, so Inter Milan and Ajax, he always used to come out into his penalty area and claim the ball from corners, etc. I've seen plenty of games like that.
I don't mean it like that. I mean, he comes out, gets the ball, goes for it, punches it, collects it with his hands. What I'm saying is, when the attack's coming in, he seems to be stood on the line, waiting for a shot. And, really when he should be making at least a forward move, and he just seems glued to it. That's something I want to see change. And it's his game before he goes away, international duty. Puzzling, really.
I'm getting the feeling as though he don't really want to go. I think he'd rather stay here, but
I think he's worried about losing his position. I do.
Yeah.
I think he's worried about losing his position. He really should never, ever have played against Wigan the other night. The goalkeeping should have been changed, the strategy, because he is going away, and I think he should have just gone away and let the other goalkeeper come in, and it is what it is. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, only time will tell over that.
The thing is, though, with Onana against Wigan, he made a great save in the first 2 or 3 minutes, so maybe it was a good decision to keep him against Wigan, because that could have been a very different game if that wasn't saved early on. Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is, that's hindsight. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is that you're looking strategies going forward, and I just thought the opportunity was lost. To drop Onana and bring in another goalkeeper. Yeah,
use that game to see. Well, let us all see what Bayinde is actually like, because I've only ever seen highlights, little clips of him. If any of you out there have actually seen the full games of him while he's played, let us know what he's like in the chat. But yeah, there's a little bit of excitement there as well from me to see what he's actually like, Bayinde. And let's hope he's a good goalkeeper, because we are going to need him.
I look, you say excitement. I don't know about yous out there, but mine's trepidation because there has been opportunities this season to bring in Bayinde, and it's not happened. I looked at last year, many opportunities to bring in younger players and all that, to give him a bit of experience and all that, and Erik ten Hag's not done that, and I think he's missed a big opportunity here.
Do you think it's maybe then they've obviously signed him in the summer, and the coaches have been looking at him since he's signed, and they're thinking to themselves, having that chat like, look, he's just not ready yet, and there's a little bit of thought thinking there from Ten Hag, like,
no, I think,
or do you think he trusts him?
I think he just wants to play Erik ten Hag what he considers his best players at the time. And I don't think, because it's last year's tactics and the way he used the squad, which I thought at times was very, very poor. These young players, what are scrambling into the squad now and getting game time and that, really, I think they should have been eased into it a little bit more last year. And the same with Bayinde. I think the opportunities were there, and Erik ten Hag really should have done it. So that to me, that's a failure on Erik ten Hag's position.
Yeah, Anthony Martial.
Oh,
yeah. He's obviously been out there in reports that he's turned down moves away from Manchester United this January. I think he's missed the last 6 games, roughly, with illness or a mystery illness.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting, with that being sorted, where he's not leaving Old Trafford now this January, for him to come back into the squad. But what do you think about that? Let us know what you think as well about Martial.
Will he come back into the squad?
Yeah. Think he'd have got over the flu by now?
Yeah.
I know one thing for sure, he'll be wearing his gloves if we do see him on Sunday.
Yeah, he'll be on the bench. I think they'll put him on the bench. I think this mystery flu, what goes round every now and again, well, every 7 to 10 days. One of the players is picking it up. Whether it's just an excuse from the manager using it, I don't know. But Martial, you know, what we're really going to get out of Martial.
Yeah.
I don't see the point of bringing Martial on the bench in the squad. I think there's an opportunity there, and he's been on the bench, Hugo. I do.
Just signed an extended contract as well, I think, so 2026.
There's confidence in him. We know he's scored goals at the lower level. So at the end of the day, and again, I say it, opportunities have been missed to bring Hugo into the game this season, probably last season as well. So to me, I actually don't see the point of bringing Martial on. This is a man what doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's not bothered. Nothing affects him. He just plods on, has his dour appearance, and just goes through on the pitch.
Just goes through the motions.
Just going through the motions. So I don't see what he can bring to the game, whether it's for 90 minutes, 20 minutes, or anything like that at this moment in time. We know he's had moments in his United career, but a lot of it has been undermined by the actual appearance and the way he strolls around the pitch. And I don't think he's going to run his heart out for Manchester United, because he feels, as I see it, is that he's just going to collect his wages and just walk out at the end of the season and walk into another club. That's how I see it. So it's an opportunity lost for someone like Hugo. And I go back to buy Indy again. It's the same thing happening again, which is strange for me with Erik ten Hag. So I don't see why he would want to bring somebody in who really doesn't care. That's not what it's all about.
You know, and God forbid, you know, fingers crossed it doesn't happen, but if Højlund was to get injured, you know, then having to rely on Anthony Martial, even if he is fit, you know, he might not even be fit. You know, let's have it right. He might go through stages like we've seen most of his career. He's in and out of the team due to injuries. And then if he was to send Hugo on loan, let's say this January, what a bad decision that'd be.
Well, that going into the second half of the season, that's the bomb you don't want to go off. That you just don't want that bomb to go off. Højlund injured. Next thing you know, what's the alternative? Yeah. Rashford, you know, who won't go in the area, as a centre forward, not interested. So, you know, Martial, you know, Rashford's playing the same as Martial in that number 9 position. So, you know, Hugo, at some point...
I'd love to see him on the bench on Sunday, I really would.
I'd love to see him on the pitch at some point. Yeah. And the opportunities have been there for him, because, like I say, once that bomb goes off, Højlund out for a long time. If that happens, I wouldn't know what to say going into the next game. If that
because you've got to think of things like that. If you look at the first half of the season as well, the amount of injuries we have suffered in various positions throughout the team, you know, and it's a possibility that may happen at some point.
Yeah, but that's looking at it from like a disaster.
Yeah, but you've also got a plan for that, haven't you? Yeah. You've always got a plan for the worst case scenario, surely.
I agree with you. We're talking about that plan, but Erik ten Hag doesn't seem to be planning for that. Erik ten Hag's not giving the opportunity to Hugo. He's not. To me, he doesn't seem to be planning for it. So, to me, Erik ten Hag is wrong in that way, because Hugo should have played. So, to me, I'm optimistic, but the optimism, right, is the bomb will go off, and when the bomb goes off, opportunities have been missed, and that's a failure on Erik ten Hag's part.
What do you think Højlund will be like after that Wigan game? Obviously missed a couple of, let's face it, gilted chances. Should have stuck the ball in the back of the net, but we did see a good performance from him against Aston Villa, got on the score sheet there. So let's hope, coming back to Old Trafford here against Tottenham, we can see something similar.
I think he'll look at it and say, I must do better. And I think he will do better. Learning curve for him this year, but the spotlight's on him, and that's the problem. He brought him for big money, young lad. There should have been a more experienced centre forward at Manchester United to help him along. There isn't, but he will look at it and he will do better. Well, he will say, I've got to do better, and that's the good thing. Problem is, he's on his own. And that's hard work, being on your own.
Do you think it's going to be Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the right?
Yeah, I think it's virtually going to be the same side. And I go back to it. I think the only decision really changing that team will be Eriksen or McTominay to partner Mainu. That's the big, most crucial part of the game. I think that midfield on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm just thinking how the Tottenham are going to line up. They'll have that Bentancur in midfield. I'm not too sure who they'll play in and around him due to injuries, but I do like that Bentancur as well. And I'm just thinking, I think he probably will do Mainoo and McTominay, you know. I really do. He'll use McTominay because of his height, his physicality, etc. to try and get up and down box to box.
That'll set a lot of people off.
It will set a lot of people off, but I'm just thinking how Erik ten Hag might look at it and judging off previous games who he's actually started in the starting 11.
Well, you've got to look at him, how he starts with Anthony. He was putting Anthony in all the time when everyone was not wanting him, and it's the same with McTominay. McTominay's had quite a decent run in on the pitch, so he just might stick with McTominay and trust him.
Yeah, do you think McTominay's that sort of player at the moment with the fan base where, you know, some people are going over-critical on him of a performance because, you know, against Wigan, I've seen a lot of people like judging his performance as though it was crap, it wasn't good enough, etc. But with McTominay, when I look back on the game, he was doing everything simple. You know, he was getting the ball back, retrieving the ball back when he needed to in midfield due to other people making mistakes. And then he was just like laying it off simpler to, like, let's say Bruno, other attacking players, then trying to get into the box.
I think with McTominay, you're either against him or you consider him an half-decent player.
Yeah.
I think that's how it is. It won't change no matter what he does. He could put in a 10 out of 10 performance. It will not be good enough for a lot of people, and I can understand why.
Because it's not consistent either.
That's right. He's not been consistent. And as I've always said, I've never rated him as a great player or anything, but I think he's a good squad player. Always said it. I've been criticised for that. I don't see why I should be criticised for someone who's a good squad player and who can come on and do a job and fill in when there's injuries and things like that. You always need them type of people there, and who also can defend, which he can do, and also puts the ball in the net. So for me, as a squad player, I think he's ideal. But at the moment, the fan base is equally divided. Is absolutely get him out of this club, he's rubbish, or he's not a bad squad player and to be used as and when.
Yeah. The midfield have got to do better, though, for me, because the amount of goals we end up conceding where the opposition get on the sides of our penalty box and then they do the cutbacks to the edge of the box, and the amount of goals that we've seen conceded this season, I think we need to do a lot better with that, you know, tracking the runners, etc. And he's always there or thereabouts, McTominay.
I think if you look at our midfield, it's always it's been too wide open and gets caught out like you wouldn't believe, right? And the only way, as I see it, to address that is actually to play 4-4-2. But that is not in Erik ten Hag's remit. He won't be doing that, right? But to close the midfield down and get it tighter, I think you either play with one striker up front and then you just fill the midfield in. But Erik ten Hag will not change what he's doing, and that might cost him at the end of the day. But that's my personal view. I think sometimes you have to go into games and sort of grind them out and then hope that the midfield comes and helps the forward who's up there on his own, and then you get opportunities and score. I've seen teams do it regular, play that system, but Erik ten Hag will not do that, even though we all know that United's midfield is so open, and once it breaks down, it never gets back together again. It's unrepairable on the pitch in 90 minutes.
Do you think, just before I go on to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, do you think he can fit Kobbie Mainoo in the team when the likes of Casemiro or Mason Mount are back? Do you think he'll go for maybe, I'm not saying the easy option because of his age, Mainoo, but do you think he'll go for that option where he'll take Mainoo back out the team, put him on the bench and then start with the likes of Casemiro, Mason Mount? I
think he will. I think he will take Kobbie Mainoo out. You've already heard him say he took him off against Forest because he'd been involved in three straight games. That to me was absolutely baffling. So you can see what his plan is with Mainoo. He's only using him now. He was going to use him. He was going to put him in the team at certain points. He did say that in the summer until that injury.
But he looks as though he's like overused him due to injuries, etc., suspensions. Well, he's used him too much. But he's our best midfielder at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment, and the experienced players what are out there, what are coming back, I think they'll get back in the team. Mainu will be used at times, but not on a regular basis. And I think what you will see Mainu take it by storm next season.
Yeah, a bit like Garnacho last season. He was getting tucked in and out of the team as of when Ten Hag needed him. And then this season, he's...
You say Garnacho. Has Garnacho really took it by storm?
I think he's done really well this season. I expected more goals, more assists, don't get me wrong, but I think he gives you something that Rashford doesn't do and Anthony don't do.
I'm not saying that. Has he been the great player? No, he hasn't.
Yeah, but he's a young kid.
No, he's young. What I'm saying is, if you look at the start, he wasn't, when he was given the starts at the beginning of the season, he wasn't doing the job, right? And understandable, he's getting used to the game.
None of the team was either, though, if you look at it.
I'm looking at one player. I know the team. But this one player, right, then he was taken back out and he come back refreshed because he'd got used to it. And there is moments in that, and he is doing well, right? And I think at some point he will take a break. I think Erik ten Hag will give him a break and then bring him back for the last part of the season. I think there will be a time there Garnacho does come out of the team and recharges his batteries. He's a young lad and we've not got to forget that.
Yeah, we've also seen some good goals from him and good finishing this season. Goals. That's what I mean. And
some great goals. There's no two taking that away. But I'm looking at him from a young player's point of view. I think at some point it's been a tough season for him, right? His energy, his work rate, I thought has been terrific, to be honest with you. But I think at some point Erik ten Hag will take him out if he gets the opportunity to give him that break and then kick on at the end of the season.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. Throughout a season, you need a squad there and a squad capable enough to come in and out the team to freshen the squad up. But I just don't see it at the moment in the wide areas. I don't see Anthony stepping up his levels to then give Garnacho a rest on the right-hand side. I don't see Rashford stepping up his levels like to anything we've seen last season. So is that going to give him a rest? I don't think it is. And
he's not going to get the he's not going to get the rest now.
Yeah,
I think come the end of February, some point in March. Right, I think his batteries will need charging. He's a young lad, and you don't really want him to run out of steam for the following season. So I think it'd do him the world of good.
Yeah, and I still think he's got a high ceiling to still improve as well, Garnacho. That's the thing with me.
I think they all have.
Yeah, I think he will improve.
Yeah, they will, definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to go on to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It's been in reports that he will go and watch Manchester United versus Tottenham for the first time since doing a 25% investment. So what are you expecting here?
Well, I'm not expecting him to do a Michael Knighton. Okay? I don't think he's coming here to get on the pitch, juggle the ball and put it in the back of the net of the Stretford end. What I'm expecting him, I think he's coming here, watch the game, he's a United fan. I think, yes. Well, potential talks, ins and outs, players. I think these conversations are going to go. I think he's really here, in my opinion, clarifying the football strategies going forward. I think it's an opportunity. There's a break here now, what's coming up. And I think he needs to get the clarity into everybody, what's coming. The talks about transfers, the ins and outs, the money and everything else like that, and also the role of Erik ten Hag. I think these are potential talks what are going to go on. Yes, he's coming to watch the game. Big game, Tottenham, always has been. United fan. So I think he's here to enjoy the game, but also to finalise how Ineos are going to go forward in all the departments. I think it's a crucial time and it's the right time for him really to come and watch a game.
Yeah, I think it's a crucial time. It's going to be a crucial end to the season, second part of the season. I don't think everything's going to be discussed and talked about against Tottenham. Don't get me wrong. I think it'll be more about him just turning up as a fan, you know, experiencing a match day as a 25% owner. Obviously, that's still got to be rubber stamped by the Premier League.
Yeah.
But I'm sure a lot of cameras, pictures will be took of him in the stands if them reports are true that he'll be here on Sunday.
Yeah, you know, PR add to it and all that. But no, I think, you know, you've got this break coming up and I think the squad might break up. I'm not too sure where they're going or if they're going away. But if they are for this break, I think it's a good time to get everyone sat down in the right place and sort of like catch up and make sure they all know what's going on. If certain people are coming in positions and clarify that certain people are going out, it's a big time really. You're going into the second half of the season. And we've got to push on, but with clarity. And I think these conversations will go on.
Yeah, Score prediction against Tottenham.
Score prediction.
Let us know your score predictions out there as well.
At home, I'm only basing this on the Aston Villa game. I think because Aston Villa were open and attacking on the front foot, I think Tottenham will be exactly the same. And I think United, really being at home, you should expect an open game and expect a win. So I'm going for 2-1, me.
2-1. I'm going to go Tottenham win.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham. Yeah, I said
I'm gobsmacked.
I said against Nottingham Forest that we'd get a draw there. We got beat, didn't turn up at all. I'm looking at Tottenham. They actually know what they're doing with instructions from the manager. Like we said earlier on, the drop off in quality. They still then get the players to then come in, and then they still know what they're doing. The instructions are still all there. I do look at it from the point of, look, Tottenham will be open, they will be attacking, so that will give Manchester United room to then, make their own chances in counter-attacking, etc. But I just don't know what I'm going to get from week to week from this Manchester United team, and let's hope, fingers crossed, that they do perform at the levels like they did against Aston Villa. But at the moment, I'm just not seeing anything at all that tells me that Manchester United can go and beat Tottenham. You're looking at the manager as well. He'll be up for it. He'll be drilling it into the players. The players will be coming to Old Trafford, no fear again. They've got to go and get 3 points to then go above Arsenal, I think, in the league. So that's a big thing for them to achieve 3 points there. And I'm just looking at it. What are Manchester United looking at this season? Where they sit now currently in the Premier League. What's their realistic target to achieve this season? Did the players actually believe they can get into the top four? That's the thing. No matter what Erik ten Hag, the fans say about top four, do the players truly believe they can get in top four and push there? I'm not too sure. I still think we need some key players back as well, like your Casemiro, your Martinez. Mason Mount, let's hope he gets a few more games to see what he's really like when he comes back. But I think with this current squad, it just doesn't fill me with any confidence going into some of the matches at the moment.
No.
But let's hope I'm wrong. Let's hope Manchester United absolutely smash and tear apart Spurs. But I think Spurs might nick it,
Well, I have to agree. You don't know what team you're getting from game to game. And as I said, I'm just basing mine on the last home game against Aston Villa, a team what's open. So I think with United the way they are, I think they've got a great chance of beating them. It's at Old Trafford, and Spurs haven't got the greatest of records at Old Trafford. So I do think that they will win. But I have to tell you all here, I cannot ever remember in my lifetime my son telling me he expects United to get beat before the game. So to me, it could be a first on here.
With a camera in front of us, you mean?
With a camera.
Yeah. Right? I think you've said it more than enough times as well, off a camera as well. Right. So don't be giving it the big one like that.
No, but I'm just saying, on here, I think it's the first time.
Yeah, of course, because I'm just not confident with this Manchester United team. Look, on match day, you'll wake up, you'll have the buzz for it, you'll be looking forward to the game, the excitement will be there. And, the hope, and it's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that's been killing us at times throughout this season. And yeah, Sunday might be a different day. Sunday might bring different thoughts, feelings into my head. But I've just got to be realistic, and I've just got to be honest with everyone out there, because that's what I am. And it's not giving me any confidence still going into that Spurs game, even with injuries, that Manchester United will definitely get the 3 points, because who's going to score the goals? We're having to rely on defenders majority of the times throughout the season to score goals, or midfielders. We're not really firing up top unless it's Garnacho bringing the spark up there. So fingers crossed, let's hope he gets on the score sheet again.
He's going to score.
Let's hope so. I hope
he's
so.
going to get the opportunities, because if they're open and they do come attacking, there will be opportunities. By rights, there should be. But we'll all know after 10 minutes what the attitude of that team is. And there is no excuses at all for people to run for 90 minutes, put the effort in, get the tackles in. That's all you want to see. Effort. So let's hope we have a good, open, attacking game of football.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's fingers crossed the United win. But let us know your thoughts and opinions on the game. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on the chat as well. And if you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it. And we'll be back tomorrow. I think we might have a look at Erik ten Hag's press conference, because it is a good game. It's going to be a decent game against Tottenham. Obviously, we did mention that we've not been doing a lot of press conference reactions recently because
catch
of
up on the injuries in that, can't we?
Yes, I might get a bit more of a scope of what's actually going on with the likes of Luke Shaw, Ericsson, Maguire, maybe Casemiro, Martinez, etc. So
and Maguire.
Yes, So we'll do that tomorrow. So join us there if you like, and enjoy the rest of your day, Reds. Thank you.
Thank you.